Hey guys, so welcome to day 4 of the diet culture detox. Today we are going to be looking at all the negative thoughts and beliefs that we have about our body and our appearance, and we're going to be working on challenging that. So this one might be a little bit more confronting for some of you, but I do think these prompts that we've got now listed on my Instagram post, which is now live, are really important. And I would recommend all of you, even if you think you don't need to do this, to head to the post and go through these prompts. I'm going to go through them now for you because I want to explore some of these with you, and I thought I haven't even actually looked at them in great detail in terms of I haven't done like a script for this, so I am just going to be answering very honestly when I read the question, so I am a bit nervous. So let's go. So today's task is to use the journal prompts below to work to eliminate any negative thoughts about your body and appearance. So number 1, what assumptions and beliefs do I have about my appearance? Now, I suppose I'm going to speak from the older me because I feel like a lot for me has changed recently. I definitely still have these assumptions and beliefs, but I wouldn't say it's my current thought process. So from a past tense, I think I really did feel validated, and I still do definitely, from my appearance and from my looks. It's been like that my whole life. I have always I've always gotten attention for how I looked, been treated differently for how I looked, and often put a lot of value in that. I have a twin sister, and if you are a twin or know anything about twins, you will know that people love to compare twins. My twin sister Liz is extremely bright and funny. I was always intelligent as well, but not to the same extent that she was. And so Lizzie was always like the smart, funny twin, and I was just a pretty thin twin. And that caused both of us to definitely be a bit fucked up. Liz, I know for Liz that she struggled with eating disorders all through high school, that she was always feeling insecure about her weight, and she would go on many really restrictive diets to lose weight when she was actually tiny. But because I was thinner, she was fat. So even though Liz was probably maybe like 5 kilos heavier than me, like nothing, she was the fat one. And because Lizzie was more intelligent than me, not that much more, but more, I was the dumb one. And so we definitely had these, we always tried really hard to be what the other person was. So Liz definitely had a lot of cosmetic surgery done. She did a lot of diets. On the other hand, worked really, really hard at school. I got a really high TE. That's what we call it. I got a score of 92, which I love telling everyone about. I got one of the highest scores out of all my friends and in the year. But it still wasn't enough because Lizzie got I can't remember, 96 or 98 or something ridiculous. But you see what I mean? It was kind of well, even though I was smart, I wasn't as smart as her, so it still wasn't enough. But I was prettier and I was thinner. That's how I viewed it. Lizzie's going to be like, what? You're not the pretty one. But in school, I was the one that got attention. I was the one that the boys liked. And so for me, that was my value. That's how I found value in this world. And I still see, even, 15 years later, I'm 30 years old, I still see people wanting to discount my intelligence because of my appearance. And I'm not buying into that anymore because I have been doing that since I was 15 years old. So I'm a bit done with only seeking my validation from my appearance. So I'm not sure if I answered the question there. What assumptions and beliefs do I have about my appearance? So my assumptions and beliefs were that my only value in society came from my appearance. And then the second question is, where did these come from? Why do I believe these assumptions? So I think I've answered that. So these came from the way that I was treated growing up, from the time I was 9 years old till now. I've always been treated differently because of the way I look, had different opportunities because of the way that I look. And so that, of course, causes me to have these assumptions about my value and my worth being related to my appearance. Okay, number 3. Do these beliefs help me? How do these assumptions impact me? These beliefs help keep me down. These beliefs make me focus on my body, make me do shit to my face, make me worry about gaining weight, make me worry about getting older, make me worry about getting pregnant, because all these things make me feel like if that happens to me, then my value is decreased. And if I only find value from these things which are not permanent, you will not permanently be young and attractive. That will fade, that will go. And if that is the only way that I value myself, then my value is not real. It's not something that will carry me through to old age. Whereas things like my creativity, my passion, my empathy, my intelligence, my fearlessness, these are things that I want to develop and that will carry me through till the day I die. And they're the things that I want to gain my value from. So what is a better, more helpful belief is number 4. I think I just answered that as well. So these questions are very good. They flow very well into each other. So yeah, I think I did just answer that. A better way is to change that belief. And I've actually written down my old belief and my new belief. So my old belief was, my appearance gives me value. When I feel pretty and thin, I feel value. I am fearful of losing my looks for fear of losing my value. This is my new belief. My appearance does not define me. My appearance does not give me value. I am so much more than how I look. I'm a smart, compassionate, fearless, creative woman, and my appearance is a small, not very important part of myself. She feels really good to say that. So tip number, the 5th journal prompt was, how can I apply this new belief to everyday life? Someone just commented, you age like fine wine. The only people that get said that they'll age like fine wine is men. Like, that's what everyone says about men. Nobody says that about women, but thank you. So how can I apply this new belief to everyday life? I think it's by, for me, not focusing on the parts of my appearance that used to give me value. And that's really that ditching diet culture and understanding that the way that I look is not a really that interesting part of myself has really helped me do that, because I realize that I hold so much more value than simply my appearance. Yeah, Artie, I know. Artie said men are just allowed to age, and I know that's so true. But this is that's a whole different topic. I don't want to get into the men versus women debate. I feel like that was happening on my page before. Maybe that's another thing we can talk about, the ridiculous beauty standards for women versus men. But men have to deal with this shit as well. It's becoming more and more prevalent in men. If you check out studies from eating disorder clinics and see that the intake of men is rising, like this shit is definitely affecting men too. It's just affected women for longer, and women hold a higher percentage of people that are suffering from things like eating disorders, and the marketing is more focused to women, although it is starting to happen to men as well. Someone did just comment, I'm going to just answer a few of these comments. Someone did comment that I should stop focusing on this and find something else because maybe this isn't positive for me, but I don't agree with that. I think that where I was before, which was in a really holding my value as important, my my appearance as being important for how I look, that wasn't healthy for me. But I feel now the message that I am sharing, the message that I am promoting, I feel is really important and really valid, and I feel privileged and proud that I get to share this with people, because I think if I hadn't been on the journey that I was on, this message would be totally different. I think it's when you have experienced these things yourself. For instance, I've spent thousands of dollars on Botox and filler. I still have Botox in my face. Like, I'm getting a few lines, but I got heaps before I left, because I was like, I'm not coming back to Australia for a long time. Just like, fuck me up. So it's definitely going to be draining out of my face soon, and I'm going to be having to come to deals with looking my age and looking older, and that's going to be difficult as well. So it does really help, like, focusing on parts of myself which for me hold more value and are more important. So what I mentioned before, my creativity, my passion, my ability to empathize, my ability to not be judgmental, my kindness and my positivity. Like, I really think it's so important to, like, put more attention to these qualities, because these things are so important and will give you so much purpose and value and happiness over the course of your life, than it will putting into all that time that you spend putting into losing weight, for instance. We spend so much of our time trying to lose weight, trying to be thinner, trying to grow our butts, trying to grow our shoulders. Like, there's so many things now that we're trying to do, and we spend hours researching it, partaking in it, doing all this work on it. And I get that, like, your physical body, to be able to have, like, be able to move your body and feel healthy is a good thing, but you don't need to put that much emphasis on it, because it's just a small part of you. And it's kind of like the amount of time that we spend thinking about it and that we spend money on it is just disproportionate to what it actually means. Like, I always say, like, we have four bodies. We've got our physical body, our spiritual body, our mental body, and our emotional body. It's 25%, right? So I feel like we deserve to spend like 25% of our time, our money, our energy on all four of these things, but we only spend 25%. We spend like 90% on the 125 of it, like on the physical stuff. We don't spend much time looking at the spiritual, the mental, or the emotional bodies, and those things are just as important as your physical health. All of those bodies make up your health. So people spend so long talking about not looking healthy and that you're not looking healthy, you don't look good, blah, 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 because this is what people see to the world. But that's just 25%. That's not the whole picture. Am I getting off track? I'm getting a little bit passionate. It's one of my qualities that I'm working on. Okay, so the prompt for this is, I would love you to go through all five of these all five of these journal prompts, and if you would be so kind as to share your new belief with me on my page. You can, if you don't feel comfortable sharing it in the comments section, you can DM me. It would just make my day. I would love to hear about your new belief. If you cry writing it, let me know. I love to know that there's tears, because I cry all the time when I think about this stuff, and I'm surprised I didn't cry today. I think maybe because I'm just feeling so happy and blessed and grateful for all of you, honestly. And I can't believe it's only day 4 and we have got so much more content to get through, and I'm just so excited to have you all here on this journey with me. So thanks so much, and catch me tomorrow for day 5 of the Diet Culture Detox.